Hello everyone, welcome. If you are watching this video, it means that you probably have a headache, and for that I am very sorry, but I have for you a yoga flow today, just really a short few moves here to hopefully help with your headache. All right, so one thing that you will need is something that we'll use at the very end of class. So I have a yoga block. If you have a yoga block, that will work best. But you could also actually, if you have like a tennis ball or even 2 tennis balls, you could use that. If you have a foam roller, or even if you just have books or a stool, something like that, right? Something, and I'll show you how to use that in just a little bit. So have that off to the side. All right, otherwise we're just gonna start in a seated position. And as always, if sitting on the ground does not feel particularly comfortable, prop yourself up, sit on a pillow or a blanket, especially when you're not feeling particularly good anyways, right? Do yourself some favors. Okay, then from here we'll just sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in, and then let it go. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Sigh it out. And just let your breath return to normal. And then notice if you're tensing your shoulders. See if you can relax those down. Relax the hands. And then unhinge the jaw. Relax through your forehead, your eyebrows. Take a big breath in. Let it go. And then just start to find really nice, gentle neck circles. So maybe you bring your left ear to left shoulder. And then bring your chin nice and slow to the chest. And then right ear to right shoulder. All right, do that a few times. Go nice and slow. And if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other, you could always linger there for a moment. There's no right or wrong. It's just finding something that works for you. One more time. And then just lifting back up through center, maybe keeping the eyes closed. Then we'll really slowly just move our way to tabletop position, all fours. And we'll find a few cat-cow. So your wrists are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath of hips. And then nice and slow and smooth, right? No need to go to any edge here. We're just gonna inhale, let the belly softly drop towards the floor. Maybe you gaze up. And then exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Let's do that again. Inhale, belly drops, head comes up. And exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Then from here, tuck your toes under, send your hips back towards your heels, and then plant your hands by your knees and just press so that your knees lift off of the mat. We're just going to our forward fold. We're just moving there nice and slowly. So we'll start to straighten through the legs and come to a forward fold. So in your forward fold, your knees can be about hip width apart, maybe even a little wider if that feels good today. Knees can be bent, belly rests on the thigh, let the head hang heavy. And this alone, right, allowing the head to drop can help with your headache. But if you want a little bit more, maybe you bring both of your hands to the back of your head and just allow your hands, so you could interlace them behind the head, just allow your hands to be a little bit of extra weight, right? We're not necessarily pulling, but you can tuck the chin towards the chest a bit and then just allow your hands to lengthen the back of the neck. Let your exhales help release every little bit of tension. And then maybe you shake out the head or sway side to side. Take a big breath in, breath out. Slowly release the hands back down to the ground. And then once again, we'll just bend the knees. We're just making our way back to that tabletop position. So take your time to get there. And then when you do, we'll find our puppy pose. So the hips will stay over the knees or slightly behind the knees. Walk the hands out in front of you, and then take your hands maybe as wide or wider than the mat, right? Just a nice open puppy pose. Then start to press the heart down towards the floor. Maybe the forehead can rest down. And then if the forehead is resting on the ground, maybe you rock the head just a little bit side to side, a little massage for your third eye. And if you find that the eyebrow over one eye or the other feels like it's holding more tension, you can linger there. Take a big breath in, breath out. And then slowly make your way all the way to child's pose. So you can come all the way up to do that, moving through tabletop, or you can just let your hips sink towards your heels. Let the hands slide back on the mat. And once again, just settling in, maybe the forehead can rest down. Then staying in your child's pose, if that feels okay, we're just going to interlace the hands behind the back. And they can stay nice and bent, right? The elbows can stay nice and bent. You can just roll the shoulders back, maybe hug the elbows towards each other. But if it feels okay, maybe you start to take the arms towards straight. All right, they certainly don't have to go all the way straight. Take a big breath in. Let it go. And then release the hands once more. So I'm going to lead us into the prep of a headstand. We're not going to actually take a headstand, but allowing the top of your head to come to the earth, or kind of the top of your head come to the earth, can really help alleviate some of the tension that we're holding. So we're going to interlace our fingers, right? And then we're gonna kind of lift our hips up. So we kind of come back to that puppy pose hips. And then you're just gonna place kind of like not quite the crown of your head, a little bit more towards your forehead, the front of your head there. We're gonna place that on the ground, and we're gonna let kind of the crown and the back of the head rest in the hands, right? The interlaced hands. And then you'll just start to take a little bit of the weight onto the head and the hands, right? Not a lot, not all of the weight. And if this exacerbates your headache, if it makes your headache feel worse, then go ahead and just take your child's pose for a few more breaths. If it feels okay, you can bring tuck your toes under and maybe lift the hips up, right? You're still not taking a ton of weight onto the head, just a little bit. And take a big breath in, and then breath out. The knees can come back down if they lift it up. Just rise all the way back up to your seat, and find a seat on your bum. All right, so from here, Cobblers Pose, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, but then take your heels away from you a little bit further than you might normally in your Cobblers Pose. Hands come to shins. We're gonna inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, just folding down. A nice gentle fold. If you've got a pillow or your block, you can always rest your forehead down on it. Otherwise, just let the head hang. And bring your right ear to right shoulder. And then left ear to left shoulder. And do that a few more times if it feels good. Otherwise, just let the head hang in the center. Then we'll rise back up. Extend the left leg out long, bring the right foot inside of that left thigh. And then once again, we'll sit up nice and tall, take a big breath in. And then on your breath out, we'll start to fold over that left leg. Fold only as far as it feels good for you. But then once again, let the head hang. And if during this practice you find any one specific pose that maybe feels extra good, right, helping quite a bit, then you can always just stay there a while longer. Rise back up. We'll just switch sides, so extend that right leg out long. Left foot comes inside that right thigh. Sit up tall, big breath in. And then breath out, gentle fold down. And then we'll rise back up. And we're just gonna lay down on your back. So this is when we will end up wanting some sort of prop, some sort of block or book or anything like that. All right, so we'll lay on our back. And then just for a moment, we're gonna find our waterfall pose. So we're just going to extend the feet up towards the ceiling. The knees can still be bent. Flex the feet, at least lightly, right? Doesn't have to be a heavy flex, but a little bit of a flex of the feet. And then just feel the back of your head on the ground. Take a big breath in. And then on your breath out, bend the knees, hug the knees in towards the chest. And maybe rock a little side to side. Or take the knees in circles. Keep the right knee drawing in, extend the left leg out, supine twist. Draw that right knee across the body. Reach that right arm out long. And then come back through center. We'll just switch sides. So hug that left knee in, extend the right leg out long, supine twist on this side. Come back through center and grab your block or your book or whatever it is that you've got. So you might have to get creative if you don't have a block, and that is okay. So all we're looking for is, first I want you to take your fingertips and I want you to feel at the top of your neck, the base of your skull, you have your occipital ridge, right? It's that bony ridge at the base of your skull. So we are going to look to apply pressure to this area. So that is what we're gonna do with our block or our books, or even just like a very firm pillow perhaps, right? We're gonna take the block and we're gonna place it underneath the head. So if you have a block, what works the best is if you have it at a slight angle so that one of the edges of the block is pressing into that bony ridge. Okay, so you have a slight chin tuck here. And then from here, right, once you get that feeling of the block or whatever it is that you have kind of pressing into that ridge, then you can always look over towards one shoulder and then the other. So that slight head rock. So we have a lot of little muscles that attach into our skull here, right? And so if you're looking at a computer all day, or you're hunched over your phone, or you tend to get those tension headaches, this is going to be really helpful for that. So even if you skip everything else and you just kind of do this every day, it will help quite a bit. So regardless of the block or not, right, you can find something that can help you out here. You can find something that can press and put pressure in this area. So I really encourage you to play around. And then when you're ready, right, you can continue with this as long as you want. But when you are ready, remove the block and just take a few moments to lay on the ground on your back. No place to go, nothing to do. Just relax and let go. Take a big breath in. Let it go. And just remember throughout your day to check in. See if you are hunching up through the shoulders, or clenching your jaw, or furrowing your eyebrows and squinting. See if you are holding tension throughout the day, right? Most of us are. We do it without even noticing. But if we can start to notice and we can start to relax a little bit more often, we can start to experience just a little bit less of the pain and discomfort, of headaches, of sore necks and backs. Let's take one more big breath in together. Let it go. I hope you find some relief for your headache. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.